Billboard backlash. Tonight, people who live near the Verizon Center are sounding off after some new electronic billboards went up. These signs stretch along 7th Street, and they're keeping people up at night. Mark Segraves attended a community meeting tonight where things came to a head. Mark?
That's right, Jim. It's people who live here and people who work down here. Take a look at these new jumbo electronic billboards that stretch the length of 7th Street and flash on and off from 6 a.m. until midnight every day. While they were approved by the D.C. Council, neighbors and businesses down here say it's not what they were told they were going to get.
I feel like I'm living inside a pinball machine. It's constant flashing.
They're not the only electronic signs, and they're not the first, but they are the biggest and the brightest. 4 new signs that will play advertisements and game highlights 18 hours a day.
It really impedes our ability to do business.
Even though the signs were approved by the D.C. Council and are up and running, the Advisory Neighborhood Commission that represents this area wants to know if the permitting regulations were followed and if there's any way to scale it back now that people are feeling the impact.
They're just a little bit more intense than I think anybody thought they were going to be, and the full motion coupled with that intensity is kind of, taking people aback.
We've actually consulted with neighbors about the designs. We've altered the designs. We've made all sorts of changes to the operations. So yeah, we're always willing to listen. We want to be a good neighbor.
This woman says the new signs shine directly into her office.
I'm staring at it for 9 or 10 hours a day. I am literally living with it right outside my window.
While officials with the Verizon Center say they're sympathetic and are willing to work with the community, they're quick to point out, despite being home to the National Portrait Gallery and other historical buildings, this is an entertainment district.
We'll do whatever we can, reasonably, but this is a vibrant downtown urban environment. And there's a certain amount of light and hustle and bustle that goes with that. And people's elected representatives voted this way.
Now, officials with the D.C. agencies that regulate these types of signs told community members tonight they're in a bit of uncharted territory because these signs were approved by the district instead of the regular regulatory process. They didn't go through the normal checks and balances like a study on the impact to traffic safety down this street. And because 7th Street is technically a federal highway, it calls into question federal funding for road improvements. At the Verizon Center, Mark Segraves, News 4.